Hello, dear students. Myself, Dr. Anita Pratimishra, and the faculty of SOIT IMS Noida. And we are here to know about discrete structure. It's a subject of your MCA third semester. And we are going through the topic combinatorics. That is a major part of discrete structure. What is the use of combinatorics? What are the application of combinatorics? First, let me discuss about the discrete structure. Then we will go through combinatorics because discrete structure is a major part of algebra. It's continuous, discontinuous objects and operations among the objects. What are the collection of these objects? How to arrange these objects? What are the names of these arrangements like set theory, rings, field structure? It's nothing but rings, field, sets, all are the base of algebra. Rings, fields are nothing but the algebraic arrangement of elements. Elements may be of real numbers, integers, natural numbers like this. So let me go into combinatorics. It is the study of the collection of objects and basically it deals with counting. It's based on counting principle. Counting principle of what? Counting principle of objects, arrangements, the arrangements, etc. along with the mathematical properties. So if you know the elements, first you know about the properties of the elements like properties of addition, properties of multiplication. If there are two elements, then how to add them, how to multiply them, whether the multiplication of two elements and the addition of two elements, how to respect the laws of the elements of different set arrangements. Counting objects is important because in order to analyze the algorithms, we have to compute the discrete probabilities. So before going to the proofs of this combinatorics, first we have to go through the basic principle of what are the basic principle and the basic logic behind combinatorics. So permutation, combination, these are two principles and the formulas and a lot of problems you have come across in your class 12 mathematics or in your first year BCA mathematics also. Because you all are BCA, so you might be knowing all these things. So these are the outlines, product rule, sum rule, and the principle of inclusive exclusive principle. These are like this. So what is the theme of this product rule? Because this is based on probability theory. If the two events are not mutually exclusive, that means what is the meaning of mutually exclusive? Let me explain what are the mutually exclusive elements. If A and B are two sets, and if I say A intersection B equal to 5, that means this is a mutually exclusive principle. And what is the product rule? Suppose a product rule can be accomplished with two disjoint subtasks. N1 is the number of ways of doing the first task, and N2 is the number of ways of doing the second task. Then there will be the total number of ways of doing the overall procedure will be N1 into N2. So this is the principle of sum rule, product rule like this. If two events are mutually exclusive, again I am going to mutually exclusive principle. What is mutually exclusive? If A and B are two sets, then A intersection B equal to 5. That means they are mutually exclusive sets. 5 means null. There is no element common between capital A and B. A and B are two sets. So then you can say that these events A and B are mutually exclusive. It cannot be done at the same time. So must apply the sum rule, like an event E1 can be done in N1 ways, an event E2 can be done in N2 ways, and E1 and E2 are mutually exclusive. So the number of ways of both events occurring is N1 plus N2. There is a natural generalization of sequence of M tasks. So number of ways will be N1 plus N2 plus up to Nm minus 1 plus Nm. We can give another formulation in terms of sets, like if capital A1, A2 up to AM are pairwise disjoint sets, then A1, U1, and A2 union AM will be mod of, like summation of mod and mod of individual sets, that will be equal. And this principle is known as principle of inclusion exclusion, PIE principle, PIE principle. So there are two events, E1 and E2, and the possible outcomes are N1 and N2. So we can say that only one event can occur, not both. Then in this situation, we can apply the sum rule because two events are there, and we can formulate like this. The basic problem of union rule. Union rule means what? A1 union A2. If A1, A2 are two sets, then A1 union A2 mod equal to A1 mod plus A2 mod minus A1 intersection A2. That means union of two sets, the number of elements or the order of union of two sets equal to one order plus second order minus intersection order. This is the basic and most important formula of set theory. You can summarize like this. These are the principle of inclusion and exclusion. You can summarize the formula, and we have gone through all these formulas in set theory also. It's a major part of set theory principles. What is A union B mod? What is A intersection B mod? A minus B mod, like it is written A by B, but it's written A minus B. What is the formula? You can write mod A equal to universal formula minus mod A, and A cross B equal to mod A cross mod B. This is the principle of inclusion and exclusion. This is a theorem also you can write. This is the theorem of inclusion and exclusion. A1 union A2 union A3 up to AN equals to mod of individual sets minus AI intersection AJ. Now we have generalized the sets. So like this. If you have three sets, if you can't remember the n number of sets theory formula, then you can summarize at three sets, suppose A1, A2, A3. A1 union A2 union A3 mod equal to mod A1 plus mod A2 plus mod A3 minus A1 intersection A2 minus A1 intersection A3 minus A2 intersection A3 plus A1 intersection A2 intersection A3. So this is the formula of three sets, union of three sets. Order of this union of three sets will be formulated like this. So before that, you have to count mod A1, mod A2, mod A3, mod A4. Now, if there are four sets, you can count or you can apply the formula like this. You can see the formula mod A1 plus mod A2 plus mod A3 plus mod A4 minus A1 intersection A2 minus A1 intersection A3 minus A1 intersection A4 plus A2 intersection A3 plus A2 intersection A4 plus A3 intersection A4. This is the formula you have to remember. If you just remove bracket, then all these two intersection sets will be negative. Then plus A1 intersection A2 intersection A3 plus A1 intersection A2 intersection A4 plus A1 intersection A3 intersection A4 plus A2 intersection A3 intersection A4. These are the plus symbol signs. Then minus of mod of A1 intersection A2 intersection A3 intersection A4. Now come to the problems or examples, then you can understand more deeper. How many integers between 1 and 300 are divisible by at least one of three, maybe divisible by 3 or maybe divisible by 5, maybe divisible by 7. Then divisible by 3 and 5 both, but not by 7. This is also one of the formula you have to apply. And divisible by 5, but not neither by 3 or 7. So suppose capital A, you can write like this. N is number of, that is lying between 1 and 300. That means that is a natural number. So you can write like this in a roster method. You can write like this. N belongs to Z, such that 1 less than N less than equal to 300. And B equals to N belongs to Z, and 1 less than N less than equal to 300, and is written like this. You can see. And how big are these sets? You have to use the floor function, means you have to mod A, you have to find out. So 300 are three divisible functions, that is 100 by 5 will be 60, and 7 you can you have written as a like the whole number you have taken, because 300 by 7 you might not be getting 42 point something. So it might be like uh, 42 point something. So you have taken not decimal part, we have truncated that decimal part, and we have taken only the whole part. That's why mod C we have taken as 42. So we can take like this, and then you can by the principle of pi formula, PIE formula, you can say pi formula. By the principle of inclusion and exclusion, you can write the formula, because before going to problem, in each and every problem, Just make a practice that you have to write the formula. What formula we are going through? What formula you intend to apply? That you have to write the formula, then the data given, then you apply the formula and the given data. So that is the main principle of every kind of problem solving. How big are the cells? You have to use the floor function. Mod A, mod B, mod C. You can count A intersection B. You can count like this, because 3 and 5, if the function is divisible, then 3 into 5 will be 15. The 315 will be 20. So mod A intersection will be B will be 20. A intersection C, 3 into 7, that is 21. 300 by 21, mod A intersection C. You can find out like this. So B intersection C also you can do like this. So this is the mod 300 by 21. I think it will be somehow 10 now, 5, 14 will be there. That is written wrong, 100. So you can rectify it. And then mod A union B union C, that equal 14 will be there, A intersection C. So that will be formula you can apply, mod A plus mod B plus mod C minus A intersection B minus A intersection C minus B intersection C, then plus of A intersection B intersection C. So 3 into 5 into 7, that is your 105. So 300 by 105 equal to 2. How many integers between 1 and 300? They are divisible by 3 and by 5 and not by 7. So this is the formula. You can do the same pattern and you can use the formula like this. A intersection B minus C will be A intersection B mod minus A intersection B intersection C mod. So how many integers between 1 and 300? Because all these are the based on inclusive exclusive principle. They are divisible by 5 but not divisible by 3 or 7. So you can see how the formula has given the solution. You can write. Then the principle of inclusion and exclusion that can be used to count the number of functions. From this pi formula, we can apply pigeonhole principle, which is known as counting formula. So in brackets, see what is N1, what is N2, that is NC1 and NC2, where you can write NC1 equals to N factorial by 1 factorial into N minus 2 factorial. So you can apply the combination formula. Like you have seen the problems of very candy problem, like how many ways of giving out of 6 pieces of candy to 3 children if each child must receive at least 1 piece. So it's quite common that each child must be given 1 piece. So you can formulate the problem like this. A mod A will be 6, mod B is 3. And the problem becomes to find the number of surjective mappings from A to B, because in A to B there is a mapping, and that is known as surjective mapping. Then the number of ways will be m equal to 6, n equal to 3. So the formula will be like this, 3 to the power 6, because 3 children are there and you have to give 6 pieces. 3 to the power 6 minus 3c1 into 3 minus 1 to the power 6 into 1 to the power 6 plus 3c2 into 3 minus to the power 6. So 3 bracket 2, that means 3c2, 3 combination 2, 3 combination 1. Then apply the formula. What is the outline of this combinatoric subject? Because it is based on counting principle, inclusion-exclusion principle, pigeonhole principle, and then permutation, combination, binomial coefficients. You all know permutation, combination, and binomial coefficients. How to apply, you know the formula. Now, come to pigeonhole principle. If there are more pigeons, you know, like pigeons are, you are quite they are very familiar. They have to sit, then they have to fly out. They have to sit, then they tend to fly out for their food and shelter. If there are more pigeons than there are the roofs, like pigeon holes, then at least one pigeon hole will be left, or one pigeon hole, more than one pigeon must sit on it. So that means pigeonhole principle states that if there are more pigeons than holes, if the number of pigeons are more than the number of holes, then where the pigeons will sit, that means any hole must be there so that can accommodate more than one pigeons. If k plus 1 or more objects are placed in k boxes, then there is at least one box containing 2 or more objects. This principle is the fundamental tool of elementary discrete mathematics. So this is pigeonhole principle is very popular and it's a fundamental tool for elementary mathematical application in discrete math. So it is also known as Dirichlet's drawer principle, or you can simply say Dirichlet's box principle. Pigeonhole principle, or somewhere it is called Dirichlet's box principle. So it is very powerful method. That difficulty comes when how to apply it. So this is a finite set of set theory. We can formulate it and can compare it with the finite sets A and B, where there is exist a bijection principle. Bijection means if there is every element of, for every element of A, there exists each and every element of B. That means from 1 to 1, 1 to mapping, though both the mappings will be there, 1 on and onto. Mod A equal to mod B. And what is a generalized principle? If n objects are placed into k boxes, then there is at least one box containing at least nck. So in any group of 367 or more people, at least two of them must have been born on the same date. So a probabilistic generation states that if n objects are randomly put into m boxes, then that with uniform probability. So each object is placed in the given box with probability 1 by m. So at least one box will be there so that it can hold more than one objects with this formula. So this is based on probability principle. What is the formula? 1 minus m factorial divided by m minus n factorial into m to the power n. This formula you must remember. This is the generalized pigeonhole principle formula. This is applicable in each and every problems. So among 10 people, what is the probability that two or more will have the same birthday? Like n equal to 10, m equal to 365. Then you see how the formula has been applicable. So this is nothing but this is equivalent to showing any symmetric and irreflexive relation on n elements, and it must have two elements with the same number of relations. So by contradictions, using this pigeonhole principle, you assume that every person has a different number of acquaintances, like 0, 1, 2, and minus 1, and no one can have the n acquaintances because the relation is irreflexive. So reflexive, symmetric, and transitive. You know what is reflexive? Like if there is a set like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 9, 1 to 10 elements are there in a set. 1 related to 1, 2 related to 2, 3 related to 3. That is the meaning of reflexive relation. And what is the meaning of transitive relation? Because if 1 related to 2, then 2 is related to 1. If this kind of order pairs exist in that set, that means that is a symmetric relation. Transitive means 1 to 2, 2 to 3, then 1 to 3. If 1 is related to 2 and 2 is related to 1 or 3, then we can say that 1 is related to 3. So this is known as the principle of transitive relations. When all these relations exist, then there is equivalence relations. So there are n possibilities, we have n people, and we are not done. This is known as pigeonhole principle. So this is about the symmetric relation and all kinds of relations I have explained. What is reflexive, what is symmetric, and what is transitive. This pigeonhole principle are applicable in many problems where n digit is very large. So this is the outline, like the product rule, sum rule, and principle of inclusion, exclusion, application of pi into number of functions. So this is the permutation formula, like NPR, NCR. You are quite familiar with all these formulas. I have summarized at last. You have to apply each and every problem. And hat and check problem also you can read. And then the applications of pi and permutation in D arrangements, like hat and check problem can be modeled as D arrangements, like something arrangements elements are there, how to break down, how to expand the functions. So this is the D arrangement of the n elements. You can see the formula Dn, that is a formula of D arrangements. N factorial into 1 minus 1 by 1 factorial plus 2 by 2 factorial minus 3 by 3 factorial, that means up to minus 1 to the power n 1 by n factorial. So this is the hat check problem. Formula is dn by n factorial. This is the D arrangement theory. So permutations, different type of permutation problems you can practice from various kind of books like this. Some of the examples also I have taken, and you can see how it is giving the applications of permutation formula NPR equal to n factorial by n minus r factorial. And then how many letter alphabet problem? That is also one of the applications of permutations. And then these are the possible arrangements from the given data. How many permutations from these 6-letter, 7-letter word, and you can get the pattern of 3-letter word. So this is the formula 7, 7 equal to 7 factorial, like this. You can block problem, different kind of permutation problem also you can practice from various kinds of problems. Now, the combination formula, like you can know NCR equal to n factorial by r factorial, it's a unordered selections. So this is the formula, you know it very well. And this is the useful set of combination, like can write like this. And then the lottery problem also you can apply combination rule. And then mutually exclusive principle also applied in permutation and combination problems. Tossing the coin and how many ways of getting 3 head and 7 tail, that is the meaning of 10C 3 ways. 10 bracket 3 ways, that means 10C 3 ways, 10 factorial by 3 factorial into 7 factorial. And then a committee of 5 people can be chosen from 20 men and 20 women. So 12 men and 20 women. So there are 20 men. So 3 men must be in each committee. So 3 men can be chosen from 20 men, that is 20C3, and rest is 2. So 12C2. This is the arrangements. They are not mutually exclusive. So you have to use the product rule. So choice when there is no mutually exclusive, that means mutually exclusive, they are not common elements are there. So you have to apply the product. 20C3 into 12C2. At least 4 women must be there on each committee. Then the formula will be like this. So you can see the various kind of problems that can be generated from one problem. So this is about the outline. Then you come to binomial coefficients. The number of R combinations in R is also known as binomial coefficients. You can see the formula x plus, this is a very general formula of binomial theorem. X plus y to the power n equal to x to the power n plus nc1 x to the power n minus 1 y to the power 1 plus nc2 x to the power n minus 2 y2 plus up to nc n minus 1 x y to the power n minus 1 plus y to the power n. So you can formulate the formula of any two elements using binomial coefficient theorem, or simply you can say binomial theorem. This is also one of the major part of combinatorics formulas. Binomial coefficients also you can find out by these some kind of examples I have given here. You can see binomial coefficients, that is van der Monde's identity n plus nr. This is the principle like this you can apply. And this is the Pascal's identity formula, like n plus 1 ck equal to n ck minus 1 plus mck. This is known as Pascal triangle formula. You can formulate like this using combinatorics. Combination formula, you can draw the Pascal triangle formula. So this is the outline of this general combinations and permutations, which are the most applicable theorem of combinatorics. The rest of the problems and discussion, you can go through the book, different chapters and different kind of examples also you can practice. Traveling salesman problem, which is a major part of operation research, you are also, you can actually map with this pigeonhole principle or combination formula. And these are the loops, or you can apply in C language also, like how many types of combination rules are there from kind of set theory. You can make one set, different subsets or different arrangements you can draw. And then you can de-arrangement also you can draw to find to come back to the original state. This is the generating permutations theory. This is the like lexicographic order, there is one of the programming, and the general permutation also you can go through, like Johnson-Trotter algorithm, which has the very attractive properties in your textbook also. You can go to the textbook for your general reference. And how to give the directions of a components. If the mobile, it has direction points to an adjacent component which is smaller than itself. So these are the algorithms, and then you can structurize in C language to find out the possible permutations of different kind of problems. Then how many, one of the example, like how many bit strings of length 4 are there, so that the 11 will never appear as some string. So this is the drawing, this is the diagram tree and root and how the different branches are drawn and using these counting functions. So these are the simply mapping and independent events. We can apply addition rule, multiplication rule like this. Then counting function 2, you can apply this formula of combinations MCN, MCN minus 1, like the combinations formula. Then these are the different set theory problems, like 1 less than k less than equal to 100, and they are divisible by 2 or 3. So you can do the problems like this. So now I summarize all these sub chapters I have gone through, and this is the ending the combinatorics of disk structure, so you can understand.